Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on BeamNG Drive with a very silly challenge. We are doing a race. However, it's a 2-lap race around this wonderful dirt circuit. However, at the end of the 2-lap race, points will be awarded based on your finishing positions. Then everybody is going to have to remove 10 parts from their vehicle, and then we are going to race again. And we are going to see who can score the most points up until the point where, well, no one's car is working anymore. You see, while initially it sounds fine, you know, we can remove a light and a police light and another police light. After a couple of races, you're going to start running out of frivolous parts to remove, and things like brakes and springs and shocks are going to start coming out, and then it's going to start being horrible to drive, and then eventually something is going to come out of your car that you really quite need, and then it's going to stop working. Plus, you know, it's a beam race, so there is all sorts of chaos that can go on between now and the end of this. Now, everybody is starting off at 0.2 in terms of the power to weight ratio. We are through the middle of all of this. Shadow has got past the lot of us with the sunburst. I mean, I've got a Bastion, so I've gone with the police car. My thinking being I have lots of extra parts to come off. It's a bit heavy. I love the Bastion, but it is really a little bit too heavy to be quick. However, my theory is that, yeah, there's a lot more parts to come off in this, and that could make my vehicle quite far. I could go quite far in this tournament. Whereas, you know, will the Sunburst rally car have enough parts to come off of it? Will it end up, you know, being busted after a couple of runs? I don't know. We will have to wait and see. Certainly, Longbow and Shadow are considerably faster than I am. Gliska has got a K-Series, is having a look to the inside. Now, you might wonder, why wouldn't you just stick absolutely everything on the car? And while that is true, you know, we weren't custom building these cars. These are all a stock spec of a vehicle. The modifications were everyone was allowed some form of off-road tyres, and everyone was allowed to add power to their spec to make it up to the 0.2, just so there could be some variety for vehicles and the like. We are going to try. So Gliska is a little bit more cautious over the bumps with that K-Series than I am. I am just absolutely launching the Bastion. Oh dear. I am very much just launching the Bastion at this course. We're going to try and get to the inside. Oh, I meant to go down to second. Didn't quite get there. It's a close battle for third, this one. Because Gliska's car, Shadow has got to the front of the race. Gliska's car is probably a little bit faster than mine, but mine is better over the bumps. However, I think Gliska has got the better of me in this. Oh, don't do that. I'm a little bit worried about my... Oh, Shadow's fallen over. Shadow has fallen over out of what was possibly even the lead of the race in that. Oh, Amy and Ewan have almost fallen over there. Longbow has now got the lead. Gliska is in second. I mean, I'm hoping something breaks on the K-Series to allow me to catch and pass. I don't see that happening, particularly. Hopefully we can fend off. Shadow has got the car recovered, but, you know, has lost a heap of time in that roll. We are still sending it in the Bastion here. Gliska was a little bit careful over the jump, but as we head up towards the final corner in this, it will be victory for Longbow. Second place for Gliska. I'm happy enough with my Bastion in third. It's solid points in this one. And then it looks like, Amy was fourth with Ewan very, very close behind in that. Then Shadow has had an accident across the finish line. It all went wrong for the Sunburst. Worked so hard to get to where it was, and then it all just fell apart. Speed Beast has had an accident by the looks of it. Amy cooked the brakes. Shados has crossed the line because some cars are going to get faster when parts are starting to be removed. Things like the piano coming off that is going to make that car considerably better. Danger Man, I presume, may have been involved in a crash. Car looks clean. Don't know what's going on with that. Something weird is going on with Danger Man's car. It does not seem to be working properly. But yeah, hopefully removing of some parts will fix the issues for the 800 series. So, We move on to the second race, and as you can see, various bits have been stripped out of cars. A lot of glass has come out of vehicles. Stevie's has lost glass. Danger Man has. Danger Man had to fix their tyres because it was breaking the car, which is why it wasn't actually driving properly. Amy has taken off a lot of trim pieces, including like fenders and lettering and so on, which does technically count. I have mostly removed lights and a bonnet and tried to save some weight. Shadow's gone down a similar line. Speed Beast is missing some bits. Ewan's lost all their windows. Shadows has got rid of a lot of the junk. I love that there's just the tyre poking up. That's quite funny. Longbow has lost bits and pieces around the front end by the looks of it, and Gliska has also started losing stuff around the back end of the car. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Now, in theory, these vehicles are getting faster. At the moment, they're getting faster without too much control issues. I can't imagine there's going to be too many control issues with this sort of group of vehicles now. Danger Man's car is working fully as we head down towards the first corner. It's going to be a big drifty session. If I can stay ahead of Stevie, that'd be really helpful. We are going to punch our way, hopefully, ahead of the group. Longbow is behind. We know that Miramar is actually pretty good. I know there's probably not a huge amount that I can do to fight it at the moment. It is just lighter than we are. While we do have more power than it, it is just significantly lighter than I am. We're hoping Shadow falls over again. Longbow is going to send it. Could not quite make that move stick, though. I was aware Longbow was there. We couldn't sort of shut down too much on the Miramar. God, it's got so much acceleration. It's actually got much better suspension than I do, I think, is what's helping it. Can I make this one work around the outside? I mean, almost. Nah, it just gets off the corner so much better than we do. I think it rides these bumps a little bit nicer. So we're sat in 4th place at the moment, but we're still running. Danger Man with a big air time through there. The question is, I guess, really, can we hold off against Gliska? Don't know what gear I want. None of them, really. None of the gears are right for me, which is kind of a pain in this one. Shadow leading the way. Oh, I think Danger Man may have broken some steering. I think Danger Man's car's lost steering into turn 1. Either that or something else went on with it, but I'm going to guess steering-related issues. That was the problem going on with the 800 series. Amy's having other issues back there with a hopper. I mean, this is good for me in terms of points. Like, I'm looking at this in terms of points. Shadow, Longbow, me being quite consistent. Gliska's also right here. So we're consistent early on. I don't know how many parts. I feel like the Miramar may not have as many parts to remove as I do. So there is hope for me in later rounds of maybe keeping some drivability into this further. I don't know whether this is the way to go into the hairpin. Nope. No, it's not really. It was worth a try. The only good news for me is a massive gaggle of cars. The fight for 5th is immense. My hope is that Gliska, while technically a bit faster, is not really able to attack the jumps as hard as we are here. It is going to be... Shadow is going to get their victory in race number 2. We are going to once again get our car on the podium, though. It will be Longbow across the line in 2nd. We will cross the line in 3rd. Gliska will cross the line in 4th. And I will want to see what happens with the next group. Here they are. It looks like it's going to be Shadows is going to lead them across the line. It is. Shadows beats Speed Beast. Ewan just finds a way past Stevie. And that is the van across the finish line. And Amy has fallen over. And it's gone for a really big tumble. That's had a really big accident. Amy is stricken and going to be, well, second last as Danger Man's car was broken. But there we have it. So, interestingly, as we thought it might happen, the van, for example, has a lot of parts to come out of it. However, it's just not scoring many points early on. We will see how this one plays out later on. So, another 10 parts have come off everybody's vehicles. They are now starting to look a lot more mismatched. Ewan still looks mostly normal. Danger Man's is missing an eye. I have stripped out more of interior. Actually got rid of a lot of the control electronics. It's helped me, but we lost a bumper and some bits and pieces. Gliska's losing doors. Speed Beast is losing doors. Shadows is losing bits. Interestingly, I think Longbow's vehicle is very fast, but as was one of the theories, because it's got no interior, some of the quick vehicles may be running out of parts. So we don't know how many more rounds Longbow's car will still be functioning in, really. We are off and we are underway with the Bastion. It's a good start for us. We are going to have Danger Man to the inside, so we can't turn in too hard. Speed Beast to the outside through there. Can I try and get some traction on this wide line? We can. Shadow is to the to the inside on the exit there. It's going to be the outside for through here. Oh, I turned in too soon. Danger Man has rolled over in front of us. And, well, we have shredded bits of our own car trying to move Danger Man out of the way. Unfortunately, that has hindered us. It's hindered Danger Man a lot more. Speed Beast is having a good race with the Roamer. I'm going to try and duck underneath the van. Oh, I wanted to try and get past the van, but I was worried if I booted it there, I think we were just going to clatter into the side of Longbow there. I also did not hear my car in the red line. That is foolish. Speed Beast is having a spin all on their own into the braking zone for the hairpin. Amy almost wiped out the back of us, but that's fine. Shadow is run away with this one very much. It's a battle for second between Gliska and Longbow, and then it's a battle for fourth, whether I can steal the place back from Ewan. But Gliska's got in trouble. Oh, we're going to get in trouble, though, because there's a van in the way. I couldn't make the most of, that opportunity. We're going to go around the outside of the van here. Where is it? There it is. It's on the it is still all the way to the bottom of the circuit. It's fine. We are across there, in towards the first corner we go. We chuck it. That was actually a little dangerous because I ran the risk of cutting the nose off the van, and if Ewan got it different, or took a different line, I could have easily got wiped out. However, we are fine. It is Gliska versus Longbow now for that second place. I am here ready to try and pick up the pieces. If anything goes wrong, if either of them fall over, if either of them have a crash, slightly gutted the van was in the way of me maybe being able to steal a pass on Gliska there, but that's racing for you at the end of the day. Oh no, my front wheel's gone. In the battling with Ewan, my front wheel is just folded in on itself. That's a problem. We have got a collapsed front wheel. Oh no, that's bad. That's bad. My points are ebbing away here. We were having a good run, and the problem with the front wheel down is that I'm just losing drive. I'm losing so much drive here. Stevie is going to come past. Oh, it's a disaster. It is a complete disaster. I don't actually know what caused that one to collapse. It's very weird. That Ewan is battling with Amy. It looks like Gliska's held on to second ahead of Longbow. Shadow took victory. It's then going to be Ewan beating Amy, and Shadows has tried and fallen over in getting past me towards the line. We are a very broken car, but we are going to limp our way. Shadows won't be too happy about that one being caught on camera. We are across the line with a broken wheel. That may be some remnants from the crash with Danger Man, or from the tangling the bump on behind Ewan at that point. I don't quite know what did the damage. Whatever did the damage, it lasted a while. Might be the slight downsides of me going for it across the jumps, trying to catch up. Who knows? However, it certainly did do a hell of a number on us. So Shadows had broken steering trying to get past me. I had very broken everything, really. So there we have it. Yeah, Danger Man was unlucky, just rolled it off the inside, and I had just nowhere to go at that point. But, yeah, bad round for points for me. But time to take some more parts off. So the vehicles are starting to look very silly. I have removed all sorts of bits from my interior and, well, all the bits on the door. So with the way it works, like if you remove like a door, for example, there are multiple parts of the door, so the drop-down bits in that menu count. So my door was 4 or 5, 6 bits, I think, because it had the wing mirror and everything as well. But yeah, we're starting to see more and more stripped-out cars. Longbow is in potential danger of having a car that doesn't actually drive next time out. So while I scored a lot of points with that Miramar, it may not function. We are starting to get towards the dangerous times for these vehicles when they really do not have many bits left. So we will see how this is going to pan out. We are off. We are underway here down the inside towards turn 1. Danger Man is quick off the line. Oh dear, we're going to go into the back of Amy. We have stolen Amy's car. Did we steal the wheel on it? I fear I might have broken Amy's car unintentionally in this one. We just went a little bit too hot into the first corner there, which is not great. Oh, much of Speed Beast has then gone in to the next one. That's fine. Amy's car's recovered. It's got going again. This is not what we need in terms of points for us. We really need to be beating the van. Really need to be beating, you know, Gliska and Longbow and co. Danger Man is now leading the way from Shadow. We have got... Well, I mean, we should have a chance of catching the van if I don't do anything stupid. My vehicle is, in theory, getting quicker. We're losing weight as we go, which will, you know, make us accelerate faster. The real problem with the Bastion is, in general, the fact that it is just so very heavy. You and because everyone else is losing weight as well. Like, everyone's vehicle is getting faster. So far, no one has had really sort of big negative impacts on their handling yet. Ewan's van actually looks surprisingly competent in this, although it gets big wobbles on the landing of the jump. Not sure what contact broke my car last time around. Gliska's, we know, has trouble on the landings of the bumps. Danger Man's will suspension or steering live for an entire 2 laps is a good question. So far, it seems to be. We are charging into turn 1 with a big slide through there. That's actually better. Oh, I did manage to kill Amy's car. I don't quite know how I managed it. Well, the second drive shaft's gone on its own later on in the course, but yeah, I might have done some damage to that one. Well, we've got underneath Ewan's van. I can't unhook from Ewan's van. We actually got a lot more drive off that corner. I've just been a bit of a menace in this one, really. Oh no. Oh no, it's gone again. It's not collapsed as badly as it did before, but it has gone again. Exactly the same wheel has gone. Oh, and I have now got significant steering issues. Oh, we've got going. We have got it moving. I think one of the things, maybe I shouldn't have taken away some of like the front bumper. Maybe I should have left like the bull bars for later on in this. Because, yeah, we are kind of pushing in these races. I mean, knowing we've got to try and score points, it has kind of fallen apart a little bit. Again, oh, hello. I don't have much steering left anymore. My steering is a real vague suggestion in this one. So, yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Exactly the same wheel has gone in exactly the same way. Did not actually see the finishing order. Glad we had got the replay running because I was dealing with my own steering related issues. We are going to come towards the line. It's not going well for the Bastion at the moment. Yeah. It is not going well at all in this. We're going to need to start scoring some really big points soon. So, as we head into the next round, my vehicle still looks surprisingly quite well like a car because there's so many parts in the doors, and I removed a badge and that sort of thing that, yeah, I haven't actually done it. It's just got a bit lighter. Ewan's, despite a strong start with all the glass coming out, it actually now doesn't look like much of a vehicle. Longbow thinks they're going to really struggle next time around. Shadow may start struggling with the sunburst. Some of the pickups aren't looking too bad. Shadow's isn't looking too bad in terms of parts left. We will set them underway once again. I mean, it also goes to show how many parts are in cars on Beam here that we are... I don't know if there might have been some flinching there or whether some desync with the chat command. Either way, we are heading into the first corner. Oh, we've got a sunburst to the inside. I'm going to try and not murder a hopper this time around if we can. I mean, we are relatively quick away. We know Longbow's going to have some pace. Oh, there is a lot of vehicles around here. There's a lot of cars now minus exhaust, so getting rid of the exhaust will give you a little bit more power in theory in this game. A lot of the time it does, but it does make your car very loud. I might have to do it just because all the vehicles I'm racing against are very loud, and I'm actually really struggling to hear my own car over the cacophony of noise. Longbow, I don't know whether Longbow is just sitting back there to play it safe, or whether Longbow's car is now starting to hurt in terms, or maybe got damaged into the first corner. Difficult to know. Amy has run wide. I will take that. Oh, Amy may have broken their car on their own. I had nothing to do with it this time. I am an innocent party. Longbow with more straight line speed than me. Amy's drive shafts just keep going on that car, which is weird. It's a really close battle up at the front between Gliska, Shadow, Danger Man. I mean, Longbow will want to try and get involved in this fight. It may well come down to me versus Ewan over 5th place in this one, unless anything untoward goes on up at the front. Get down into 2nd gear, please. As soon as I get close to Ewan's car, all you can hear is the V8 noise. Feels like the group's got a little closer in terms of performance as this has gone on. Miramar does not look quite as composed, perhaps, as it did in previous ones. I don't know whether I'm 4th through there. I probably don't. I really cannot hear my car over the sound of Ewan's van here. We are desperately trying, although this is how we broke the suspension last time, is trying to find a way past the van. The trying to like dive to the inside does not always work. Now, I mean, we were going to look for a slightly different line through here, running higher up. It looks like Shadows has had a problem as well somewhere around here. Shadow is going to go on to take victory. It looks like Gliska is going to run home in 2nd place. We have been better this time around, and I mean, I hope Ewan has a big wobble and a big crash going into the final corner. Does not. I mean, we can try and send it, but it's not going to be enough. The van is going to do it. Gliska just held on against Danger Man. It will be. Oh, then it was Longbow, then Ewan, then me. We're across the line. It was better for us. It was better for us. I think Amy has just got drive shaft related issues going on with that one. It is going to be Stevie across the line, and Speed Beast is going to limp their way. I say limp their way around the final corner. Shadows also had drive shaft related issues. Some of these cars are starting to hurt. I mean, on a course like this, yeah, there is definitely some punishment is being dished out. It was a good race. I just did not quite have the pace of the cars around me. As you can probably tell, cars are now starting to, well, not really look like cars anymore. Ewan's once glorious van is a frame. It's front-wheel drive. Longbow's had to resort to the same tactics. I mean, rear suspension and parts are gone, but they are now front-wheel drive, dragging the back of the chassis along. Most of us are in pretty dire straits, really. Me, Danger Man, Speed Beast are probably the most normal-looking cars, but yeah, it's starting to look problematic for a lot of us. Oh, there is an event queued. I'm not sure who's lost more bits of their car, probably. It's Ewan. Ewan is still... Ewan's car is just an absolute mess at the moment. We are ready to go here. I mean, the Bastion will at least be relatively normal driving. I have got rid of the exhaust in the hope that I can, you know, hear it. Oh, there is Shadow to the inside of us through here. Now, Amy has said their car, with the way the parts have come off, the suspension on that hopper is now unbelievably delicate to the point where it cannot go quickly over jumps anymore. So we've got to be aware of that being a thing. The Sunburst, I mean, I'm almost not bothering fighting the Sunburst until it starts losing parts. Again, my hope is to just go enough rounds that we can be scoring points. This is going to have a look to the inside. Down there, won't get a pass done. Now, we know the hopper is going to cannot take any speed over these jumps. It will have to slow down. I know Gliska's car is not a particular fan of the jumps either. Mine is, well, I mean, now mine is probably the best over the jumps because Ewan's is basically a chassis. Longbow's is in a similar, you know, state. Amy's can't take any speed over them. So I might have the most off-roady spec vehicle left in this. Whether I should be just sending it, I don't know. But we're going to go for it anyway. Danger Man leading the way in this one. Will we be able to do anything here? Oh, Danger Man's slowing. Or was just being cautious, maybe? I'm not sure. That was very close into turn number 1. I was trying to get a nice big slingshot on the exit, but couldn't do it quite. Ran a bit too wide through all of this. Ewan is still going as a two-wheeled... I mean, Ewan will be out next time, of course, but as a two-wheeled chassis, Ewan is still going here. Danger Man has clipped the inside, banking, and is having a moment all the way down here. Shadow with a pass to the inside. We're actually having some pretty good racing around here. Can we make a move stick around the outside of Danger Man? Not quite. We buzzed the limiter a bit too much there. We know Gliska will be careful over the jumps. Amy sat in... oh, okay, Danger Man was going for a tighter line through there. Slightly earlier on the brakes than I was expecting, which is fine. We didn't actually clonk the back of them. Now, we did see Shadow had some issues with the with the jumps. Oh, Ewan's car has broken down. Yeah, last lap around we saw Shadow had some problems with the jumps, but I think Shadow is probably going to be far enough ahead that it'll be fine. Yeah, Gliska cannot attack the jumps anywhere near like the Bastion can. As we round the final corner, none of us can do anything about Shadow. They will take victory. Danger Man is second. We are third. Gliska will be fourth. I think Amy might cross the line in fifth, though. At least this time around, it makes it to the finish line without eating a drive shaft. And it will be. Shados is having a go to the inside of Stevie. Speedbeast has had a big falling over at the end. Longbow and Ewan are both eliminated. Shados to the inside of Stevie is going to pass, and Shados will get the position. I think that was a sixth or something. Stevie behind. Speedbeast's vehicle is straight away. We lost one drive shaft, but it's only one. Ewan and Longbow both broken down, and well, I mean, both eliminated. They will have nothing left in terms of parts to remove. Better showing for the Bastion. Much, much more competitive. This next one, the cars are not going to be in a good way, I can tell you that much. So, as we head into this next round, things are looking dire. Longbow and Ewan are out. They've got nothing left. Shadow is minus rear wheels and his front wheel drive. I am minus rear brakes. A lot of important bits. I'm running out of bits to take off my car now, and I've had to start getting important bits. So yeah, the rear brakes are gone. Gliska's rear wheel drive now. Amy's vehicle's still mostly okay, but again, everyone is pretty much down to important parts. Honestly, Speedbeasts is probably one of the better conditions. Speedbeast and Danger Man are actually in pretty good shape, as is Stevie's, but the question is, how much have they lost early on from poor rounds, essentially? I have no rear brake, so I can't actually, I don't have a handbrake, so I can't like position myself on the grid very easily. We are off and we are underway. So, whoa, Danger Man has chucked that in a slightly different way than I was prepared for, and we have gone very wide in all of this. So Amy still cannot attack any of the jumps because the drive shafts break in the hopper. Danger Man's car is mechanically about as good as it has been. I think that 800 series is going to be difficult to beat. Gliska is now a rear-wheel drive car, so while it's still running, it is not going to be anywhere near as fast as our all-wheel drive vehicles here. I'm kind of hoping for Danger Man to break some steering or something important again in that car, but it does seem to be working. Amy has to slow right down for the jumps, which we do not at the moment. We can just send it through here. I mean, we have lost a good portion of our weight. We're down to 1,600 kilos. Like, our power to weight has got, you know, all right here. If Amy could take the jumps, that hopper would genuinely be pretty good. But the fact that it now cannot take any of the jumps. Speedbeast's vehicle has actually got relatively decent as well. Either that or the rest of us have got particularly awful. I think Shadow's about to be... has barely made it around some corners. I'm going to say that with the chassis dragging is not really working very well. I can't match Danger Man at all in terms of pace. Admittedly, we had a bit of an iffy start, which hasn't helped. But the 800 series has got me on pace. I would hazard a guess. It's now, unfortunately, not only has it got me on pace, but the 800 series has got me on parts as well. So as much as we are running better, I mean, I think Shadow and Longbow might be in trouble at the moment, because me and Danger Man are going to complete this round with first and second, unless I wreck it, and we may be able to complete the next round. We may be able to complete the next round. Shadow is still limping about with that. Speedbeast has had a really strong performance in this one, to be fair. That thing is still going. But yeah, we're going to score a crap ton of points here because our cars are still running. Yeah, there's going to be an interesting one when it all plays out. Like, my vehicle, drivability-wise, is not too bad here. The fact that I've lost the rear brakes is not really doing anything. I think Amy's lost drive shafts again. Even with being careful. Oh, I've lost my front wheel. I mean, I don't think that's going to stop me from being able to at least limp my way around to the finish line. Yeah, the front wheel's gone. I'm going to have to possibly be more careful in future. We have still not won a round, but it's a second place. I don't have a horn. I can't even beep the horn because that came out at one point. It's a podium for Speedbeast and a flip. Hello. One hell of a flip. Yeah, my front wheel might have gone, but there we go. We are across the line. I mean, the great question is who's going to cross the line in fourth, and it is going to be Gliska. That's important points for the K-Series. The K-Series crosses the line. Now it's going to be Stevie across the line with the other, well, with the D-Series, sorry, not the Roma. I think Stevie's in the D-Series, Speed Beast is in the Roma. You and chassis is just about. Shadow is broken and eliminated. Amy, I would imagine it is drive shaft death rather than anything else that has taken that car out. The Hopper being stripped down is not enjoying life. Oh, and there is Shadows. I knew there was someone still running. Shadows is across the line and finished. Can I get 10 more parts out of my car and still drive? It's a bloody good question. Things have gone downhill, really, for me, in that I've just run out of parts, essentially. I have the one thing that I have managed to keep. I have no brakes left. I've lost all my rear end. I've kept the radiator. So hopefully I won't overheat while trying to drive around as a front-wheel drive. The two trucks are fine. Amy's okay, but probably loses a drive shaft. Danger Man's is not too bad. Me, Gliska, Shadows are all basically eliminated. We're all pretty much useless at this point. It will be a battle for fourth. Well, it depends on if the drive shaft survives. I appreciate I am slightly ahead of the line, but this is all I can go to try and make sure that we have some... Oh, God, make sure that we can get started. We are weird handling. Because we're front-wheel drive now, I can just boot it when we're really sideways and keep the car together. It's quite funny. Not going to lie. It's quite entertaining, this one. The police spec has been good. I will give it that in some ways. And I mean, as everyone else has now pretty much given up the ghost in terms of movability. We've moved much better than Shadows. We've moved better than Gliska. I mean, I might actually finish this race, which is some points for us. And I mean, I'm hoping that, you know, Amy breaks a drive shaft. Danger Man may have broken something as well, or I have no brakes. If things go wrong, my only way to drive this is to chuck it really sideways and really hope for the best. I mean, Danger Man may have some sort of driving-related difficulties with that. I'm going to cut the corner, I'm sorry. I mean, it's really not intentional at this point. I have no way of slowing down for a hairpin. So we just kind of have to go. But Danger Man has stopped, which I'm going to guess Amy and Danger Man had a crash. I'm still hoping for Amy to lose drive shafts at some point, as you know, that would be helpful for me. Oh no, don't do that. Okay, it's fine. Still good. I mean, honestly, considering the fact of all the cars that have ended up as a two-wheeled monstrosity, I think mine is the most drivable of them. And partly because I kept the radiator. Gliska is still, I think, trying to move somewhere. Oh, Gliska. What Gliska's trying to do is overtake Shadow at this point. Oh, there's Shadows. I've caught up to Amy, which makes me think they may have fallen over or something. Or maybe they've got drive shaft-related issues again. Come on, Amy. Do the decent thing and break down. Come on, Amy, break down, just so that I can somehow get a podium in this round with this car. Ewan doing the fastest laps in the chassis that hasn't moved for 3 rounds, or however many rounds it is. We will. Oh, God, try and not slide towards that. It's not easy. It's not greatness. I've given up with the manual gears, because I don't think it's going to help. Well, particularly in this. Oh, don't break something important. I think I might have broken something important. Why does it feel like it's just stopped putting its power down? Definitely does feel like it's stopped putting its power down. Oh, that's... I don't know why I grabbed the brakes then. What good did that do? But there we go. Speedbeast has got victory from Stevie. Amy is going to cross the line in third, presuming it makes it there. And I mean, we are going to get fourth. We are still astonishingly running here, even though it's not really liking it at the moment. Yeah, it's really, really not liking this at all. No, don't you bloody dare break that wheel. Oh no, should have slowed down. Not that there's really many good ways for me to slow down, or this is bad news for me. If that wheel folds in under itself, we're screwed. Because those are the only wheels that I have working. No, don't do this to me, car. No, not now. Not now. We're so close to the finish line. We've got one wheel fighting against us. I just want to make it across the line, and then you can retire. You can retire peacefully. And, I mean, in pieces, but peacefully. No. It does not want to make it across the finish line. Oh, come on, Bastion, you can do it, and it has. It's not happy with it, but we have made it across the line. Just about. Oh, bloody hell. The Bastion did at least finish in a terrible state, but it finished. However, it will no longer run in the final round. It'll be down to the trucks and Danger Man, potentially. I don't know if Danger Man can make it work to battle it out. So, with bits of broken car littering the circuit, we move into the final round for this. We have got 3 vehicles that still, in theory, drive. Danger Man could not. Got closer than I did. I had no parts left, really. So, it is down to Stevie, Speed Beast, and Amy. There is a whole load of points on offer here that, of course, none of the rest of us can get, but their vehicles were slower at the start. I don't know what the leaderboard is going to be like by the end of this. But we are off. We are underway. It is Speed Beast that is going to jump to the lead of the race. Now, Amy's the only one with a full accompaniment of tyres. Speed Beast has no rear tyres and has spun around immediately. We know Amy's drive shafts are possibly vulnerable. Speed Beast is just wildly out of control. I actually think it is better to go with the frame approach that Stevie has gone with. We saw my vehicle wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible. And I think that's better than actually having the wheels on the back of it. The hopper, look at the engine going. Now, one of the drive shafts have issues with that amount of flexing going on. I mean, there's no suspension left on that. It's just springs on the front, nothing on the rear, as it is bouncing around wildly. We've already seen enough drive shaft issues on that vehicle, full stop. It is the flexing of everything. It cannot take any speed over there. Amy does have front brakes, I believe. Is the only one with brakes? I'm not sure. Yeah, brakes are somewhat... Oh, it's going to get turned. Somewhat difficult. What we got going on back here? The other frames. Stevie is still going. He's heading along nicely. Speed Beast is having issues. Yeah, as I said, I actually reckon taking the rear wheels off would have been a better approach. Now, what is Amy's going to be like over the jumps? Doesn't get airtime. I mean, that is the critical thing for that vehicle, is to not get airtime and everything. Because, yeah, loss of drive shaft would be funny. We just got all the wrecks of cars around by the finish line. One more lap to go for the hopper, and it looks like it might take a round victory. Stevie is still going over there. And, I mean, it might be a close battle for second, potentially, between Stevie and Speed Beast, because Stevie wasn't able to keep the radiator. So there is a potential for overheating on that one. I mean, Speed Beast maybe less so. I mean, there's potential overheating for like Amy's as well, but with the chassis dragging on the floor, the car works. The engines are working a lot harder here, so it is much more likely we see them overheating. Speed Beast has kind of made some ground up. I think Stevie's is really starting to hurt now, potentially damaging. Maybe with the radiator gone, that is starting to damage the engine. Maybe it's losing power. Either that or Speed Beast has figured out a way to drive. That's one, and is going to move up into second place in this. Stevie's is still moving, and I mean, it's going to get third place in this round. It's still going to get a heap of points that, with a bunch of us, you know, not being in this round, are not going to get. Here comes Amy's hopper, and I mean, we say it's a hopper. Oh, that was airtime. That was probably not advisable, but there we go. Oh, it's almost fallen over. Got away with that. Has got away with that big time. It is going to... I mean, the sound is maybe glitched out because it doesn't sound like it has any sort of drive. But what's left of a hopper is going to round the final corner. It will be victory for Amy. Then it'll celebrate by falling over and probably shedding all of its drive shafts and shedding a wheel. And that is the end of that. The other frames are going. I think Stevie's may be blowing up. I think Stevie's is dead. That looks like a head gasket's gone. That is not long for this world. It was a good start, but the radiator, the lack of radiator is... Oh, we actually just heard it die. Stevie's eliminated, but as I said, it's third place, so it is some points. Speed Beasts is wildly out of control and bounced around. Let it go. It's very silly. But it's going to be second, and it's going to be the only car to finish this round. The only one of only 2 cars to finish this round. and it is across the line as the debris field of stricken and broken cars is here. Yeah, Amy will win this final round. Speed Beast doesn't make it to the finish line. Only 2 cars finished this final round. Oh, and has punted Shadows away. Points-wise, I don't know. This is going to be a really interesting one. I have no idea. You're going to find out in a second because the leaderboard's coming up. So, on to the leaderboards. I mean, this was one of those that I genuinely really didn't know going into doing the leaderboards. Although the Sunburst would go and take victory in this. Shadow would win. I mean, basically, well, it would be disqualified for the first round based on managing to reset when it actually shouldn't have done from rolling over. It didn't really matter. It was so fast. It scored so many points early on that while it did die before some other vehicles and it was scoring no points in some of the later rounds, it didn't matter. It had just got too many points early on. The K-Series would end up in 2nd place, 10 points behind the Sunburst, but a good showing from the K-Series in this one. The Roma, while started poorly, kept going. And that would get Speed Beast into 3rd place, just by virtue of scoring points in all the rounds and everything. It was actually very close. Between 3rd and 7th is separated by 4 points in this. My Bastion would end up 4th. In fact, me and Danger Man had a little bit of similarity. Well, Danger Man had lots of trouble early on with issues with the 800 series. Probably the 800 series a bit better car overall than mine, not going to lie. I had also iffy rounds with wheels folding in and all of that kind of thing that just kind of cost points. Well, they did keep going, and the Bastion was not bad as a 2-wheeled monster later on. Yeah, it just wasn't quite as fast as some of the others. The Hopper would probably have been very strong in all of this had the drive shafts not kept failing on it. Amy would manage 5th, tied with Stevie, who, I mean, just kept going. Stevie was never really that high up through a lot of the early races, but the D-Series kept going and would end up 6th. They're tied on points. Amy wins by basis of the highest, sort of best finishing position. Longbow and Ewan, and Shadows to an extent, suffered similar fates. Certainly the Longbow's Miramar was very fast, but it just ran out of parts to be removed. So it didn't score points in too many rounds, and it didn't build up a big lead like Shadows. Also, Shadows kept going. Ewan's van also ran out of parts to be removed. The I-Series ran out of parts a little bit and didn't score the same points as the likes of the Miramar and so on. Yeah, this was a really interesting challenge. Very weird, very silly. And you got some really wacky vehicles coming out of it by the end. Yeah, something a little bit different. And yeah, surprisingly close. They were to Longbow actually for this idea as well. It's worked to make something bizarre and cool. That though is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.